Fortunately for us, we have the senior project manager on the project here with us. That is Engineer Abdullahi Mahama. We'll be having a brief conversation with him, and we'll also be showing you the work that is being done this morning through to next week. So, Engineer, you can join me quickly. Let's have a brief conversation. Good morning, and how are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you.
I just not doing well.
I'm fine.
How is the work going? This morning, I was moving from Ablekuma to Ofankor, and trust me, the traffic situation at White House totally improved. I'm sure you can just spend a second to just drive through that stretch. What's the magic?
Okay, well, good morning to your cherished viewers. In the morning, what you saw was because of what we did within the week. Initially, we closed the main Accra.
So we can take a walk as we see what is happening on the stretch and
so
all that.
We closed the main Accra leg, which is the main road as normal Ghanaian parlance will be. And so when we closed that side, the traffic was moved onto the service lane, which means that we are bringing a 4-lane or 5-lane from Pokwase to a 2-lane. Yeah. If we don't do that, we cannot finish the road. So we had to close the main road and then finish the wiring with the last asphaltic binder course, the concrete course, and then provide the line marking so that it will show where each car would have to drive through. And so that was a necessary evil. But eventually, when over the weekend you heard from last week Friday that Saturday we were closing the Ofankor road, so we can finish the Accra leg, the Accra bound proper. As we speak, the Accra main had been completed from at least from Ofankor to White House, which is about 2.1 kilometers, fully complete with the wiring, and then the line markings have been marked on the road, and they are installing even the information signs. And then on the service lane, about 90% of the line markings had been done as well. We have just left a small detour at the Ofankor Zero, where we are now diverting from the main to the service, or the service to the main. When we are done with the commercial leg, that's the northbound, we will move the traffic short to the main road, and within the night, the same as we did last 2 days, it will take about maybe 2 hours, and we'll finish the line marking at that small stretch. And it means that voila, the Accra leg from White House to Pokwase and to Ofankor is done. Then we are now doing the Ofankor towards Pokwase or the White House as well. That's the northbound. So for the southbound, largely, I can give you a percentage of about 98% done. As for the road, we are done. We are done with the line markings. The line markings just have about 2% to be completed at the extreme edge at Ofankor 00. And they will say that they are installing the information signs and the warning signs on that stretch of the road. Wow. So that's it. And now we are on the northbound. So as we move down there, I'll show you why we had to necessarily divert the road. In fact, on Saturday, we closed traffic around 10 midnight. But because of safety considerations, we didn't start the work until 12. So that at least some recalcitrant drivers or some people who may not have heard will try to still enter the Achimota new plan towards the Ofankor proper in the main carriageway. So we're making sure that within that 2 hours, everything would have been dealt with. There were a lot of police presence that were engaged. So at 12 midnight, we kickstart the work, and then we were able to do about 400 meters of where we really wanted to do, so that we can now open that side to traffic from Ofankor from Achimota to Ofankor, so that the traffic will not build from that place to Tesano, but rather come and accommodate within the Moose Junction, Taifa, Tantra area, and then when they get to Ofankor after the break, they will move into the service lane. So that's what we are going to show you now. So within the week, is day and night from the Ofankor stretch all the way to White House would have connected to the existing Pokwase interchange. So when you are from Achimota, your next stop is the Amasaman. We have a small area that is left, that is around the Festus. But the reason why the Festus is left is because we are waiting for the policy for us to know the kind of traffic, toll plaza system.
So that's why we see that Festus has been left like that, because people have also been questioning why you've left Festus and maybe some attention is not being given.
So that is why every now and then we go to just improve the surface, awaiting the policy implementation. You can't go and put the wearing there or the asphalt and then you come and remove it. You have to get the design before you move into the site to go and do what is supposed to be done. That's why I think it's about a 700-meter stretch. Yes.
So as we speak right now, the asphalting has started, and that is what we can see there. Maybe you'd want to take us through the process briefly, and you tell us what really the exercise is about. So Engineer Mahama will just explain to us what you can see behind us and the exercise that is ongoing there. So Engineer Mahama, let's stand here so that just the viewers can see, appreciate what is going on. So just share with us what is happening behind us.
So what we have here now, you can see there are two similar machines. They are the pavers. They're the ones that are used to lay the asphalt. And if you can just turn and show something behind him here, there's the machine that has the bitumen, that's the tackle that is supposed to use as a bonding agent on the surface before the asphalt is laid. And so we have two pavers. We don't want to delay. So we are moving two pavers from Ofankor all the way to where, so that we'll finish in no time. We are giving ourselves a week. If you're able to finish before the week, I mean, the earlier the better for Ghana. So the contractor does not in any way want to inconvenience motorists and pedestrians alike who are actually, we are entering the Christmas festive seasons, and already Accra is choked. So the person would go to Accra, and when he's coming in the evening, he comes to meet another choke, especially when he's moving towards outside Accra proper in the night, and it comes to be in about 1 hour, 2 hours traffic. It's something that no contractor would want to have. That's why we have two of the pavers. Now, they are bringing the asphalt from Amasaman yard. Then when the tipper trucks come, they tip into the two pavers. And then the pavers are laid with a uniform thickness. So that you can see that there are some holes on the drains. Those holes are the people that carry the water on the surface of the road into the drain. So there's a drainage there that goes to the low-lying area of Ofankor, which is intercepted, and then it moves towards the adjoining streams, and then these Gary projects drains that are around Ofankor towards Asphalt and towards Mile 7 and Tantra area.
So it's a good work you're doing. But the question is it going to be a day and night thing in a way? Put in like, is it going to be a 24-hour work you're going to do here?
If you were here the last week, you'd have noticed that all the work that were done here were day and night. In fact, we are here on, let me say, even before we do the diversion. So the one that doesn't need the diversion, I mean, that doesn't need the public attention, we didn't let them know. But when we realized that we need to do a major diversion from Achimota, we had to come and do that. So people who were flying this route got to know that the contractor worked from the night. So let me say, when we announced on Friday that we'll be closing the traffic on Saturday, so Saturday night at 10 o'clock, I said we closed the traffic at Achimota, New Plan. And then by 12, we started the works all through to like 3, 4 a.m. We're done with the asphalt. We have to let it set. The temperature has to drop so that when we are putting the line markings on it, these are like thermoplastic material. So when you put another material which will be affected negatively or be consumed or be swallowed by heat, you have to make sure that when the asphalt is laid at the temperature of maybe 150, 160, but it has to come below 30, or let me say room temperature or environment temperature, because the temperature that the asphalt is laid is in a certain high temperatures, so that you can have it malleable to lay and compact. But once that is done, you have to let the material cool down, then the line markers will be applied. So when we even finished on time, we had to wait for like 3 hours, water the road. We brought our water tankers to come and water the road, so that we'll get a very appreciable temperature before the line markings were done. So the line markings were done, and then from Ofankor 0 to about 300, there was a link that will bring the traffic from the White House, which were all stuck in the service lane, to the Ofankor proper. So we quickly did that side, and we watered the road, the line markings, so we can get a certain temperature to cool before we diverted the traffic. Then we continue with the line marking, and then the whole night, yesterday night, we were actually doing the the line markings on the Accra direction proper. We finished like 8:39 p.m. So it means that the team has been here from Saturday 10 p.m. to yesterday almost 10 p.m. and we had to wait and make sure that the temperature was within appreciable or acceptable limit. And we brought in a machine to be stationed at White House, so that around 4 a.m. expected traffic on a Monday from the hinterland or from Nsawam coming to Accra, the traffic was open. So we make some few mistakes sometimes you have to correct and improve, and that's why we didn't bring the machine at 5 o'clock, but the machine was stationed there at 2. Then 4 o'clock, 4 a.m. we opened the place to traffic. That's why you came there this morning, and you were so excited.
And with the explanation that Engineer Mahama has given, I think I need to take an engineering course to become an engineer. This is amazing. But let's now take you through what will be happening at the back there. Maybe you can stand here briefly, and if the cameraman can zoom to the end where the diversion has been done, what is likely to happen before this particular place, that is the Ofankor end, before the diversion happens? Is there going to be a gridlock?
Okay, normally as we enter into any construction area, we will have some of these bottlenecks, partly as a result of the construction, as a result of some diversions, or even sometimes as a result of the rush hour in the evenings. Ordinarily, if you are reducing a traffic of a 4-lane to a 2-lane, there's a certain level of volume of traffic that will be expected in the evening. That is why we have kept the constant information disseminated, so that people who may have other alternative routes, maybe somebody is coming from Hacho, you want to come towards Taifa and connect here, he can go through the Hacho ACP and then connect to Kukwasi interchange without coming here. Others who have the luxury of using Akweteman and then be able to go through Asofa area and then connect to Awoshi Road would have to use that one. Somebody is coming from Kwashiman, you want to come to the Achimota and move on this road, but because of the information, so at least maybe 30% estimated traffic or so, depending on however it would move on other route, so that we will be able to control the traffic in the evenings, mostly from 4 in the evening of 3:30 all the way to like 8 o'clock. We have some traffic in this section, so we can get the traffic a bit reduced when the information has actually gone far and Ghanaians have bought into it. That's why we have to say that what has happened, first and foremost, we need to thank the citizenry, the pedestrians, motorists alike, who ply this route every day, for their patience, and the fact that they were able to keep pace with the contractor, and we didn't hear or see any driver. I mean, you know, some of them how they can, even the commercial drivers, I say they have done well. The information has gone far, and they have also appreciated. First, yesterday when we were working, a lot of them were like, and I told them by tomorrow, which is today, a lot of the areas from Ofankor to Taifa will be open to traffic.
Is there any measure to say that when motorists are moving from the stretch, there will be, say, a traffic warden, MTCD, to divert them?
Just like what we did 2 days ago at Achimota, the same thing will happen this week. Today, you can see those guys in their reflectors. Others are just working. We know the peak time. So the peak time by 4 or so, the police and the traffic wardens will be there with adequate information signs. So the information signs is starting about 500 meters away. Apart from the fact that we have gone on social media, we are going to some electronic media who are making, disseminating information on our behalf. We are not leaving anything to chance, because somebody would have heard, somebody will not be listening to Channel 1 or listening to 60. Somebody is just driving from somewhere and is coming. So adequate information will be provided 500 meters away on the existing Achimota Ofankor road. Diversion signs, information signs, slow down signs, warning signs that you are approaching a diverted area, and then the wardens will be in hand to provide additional information to the motorists who will be in the place. But I can bet you that the rate at which I've seen my team work with the 2 gang machines on this stretch, I'm not too sure that
You go more than the 4 days.
yes. So it was a 1 week group that we are given. So we don't want to finish the road with all the inconveniences, and then we'll come and close the road again, and then come and do the line markings. So we can want to know
Yeah.
So we just finish the asphalt, and once we are getting acceptable temperatures, the line markings will continue. So I'm sure that tomorrow or a day after tomorrow, when the wearing is almost at the White House, you will see that the white line will be keeping pace with chasing the asphalt being laid on the side.
But now that you'll be having traffic wardens, you'll be having MTTD officers and all that, I'm sure maybe a motorist is watching or somebody's watching in his or her office and thinking that, okay, fine, then there should be a word to the motorists because they have to comply. As the senior project manager, what do you have to say to motorists?
I have constructed a lot of roads in the country, and sadly, whenever we are finishing the roads from the initially bad state to a very good state, we record a lot of accidents. Some of the drivers, the Gen Zs, are also part of it. That's where they want to go and try the speed. Cars, so that the cars can do 150, 160. I'm sorry, this road is designed for an 80-kilometer speed limit. But obviously, when I stand on the road, I see the machine there, the guy we are using, I see people doing 140 kilometers within the towns. So it's only proper that the motorists will be guided. Lift your leg off your paddle. It's always very important so that you get home. If you have to spend another 10 minutes to get home, it's very important. One other thing that has been worrying all of us is the construction limits. Let me be very emphatic on it. Everywhere across the globe, construction limit is mostly 30 kilometers per hour. What it means is that you cannot go beyond 30 kilometers per hour. Ironically, our 30 kilometers per hour here is a starter.
Yeah.
And so on the good stretch, people will not see the negative effect of going beyond the 30 per hour. When you get to Nsawam proper, where we are here to tar the section, and you go past Nsawam, you get to Sapema, another section which is because of the footbridge and the flyover that we are doing, and you get to Media satellite area going towards Hebron, Dubro to the Nsawam area where we are now doing proper earthworks. If you stay within a certain limit, even 40 kilometers per hour, you will not generate the kind of dust that we are generating. And the fact is that the wisdom behind the 30 kilometers per hour is that you may be confronted suddenly with an excavation work ongoing, a machine turning. Even though the adequate information are there, somebody will be turned because of the dust. You may not see the signs. It doesn't mean that the contractor is not watering the road. We have enough water about this. Now that some of the areas have been tarred, it means that hitherto, let me say, if every area was supposed to be having one, every kilometer was supposed to have one water bowser. Now that we have done quite a substantial length, it means that we have more concentration of the water bowsers in the area where we have not done the asphalt works currently. So it's
all right. Okay, so it seems like we've lost them and we are sorting out their sound right now, but this is what is going on at the Ofankor Nsawam Road, and I'm so glad that the work is ongoing. And listening to the contractor, it seems like, you know, everything is going to be going at the pace which they have promised. And yeah, it's looking beautiful already. And kudos to each and every one of them putting in their all to finish this road as soon as possible so motorists can be free and enjoy themselves while riding on this road. But I also like the fact that he said that even though